What is happening, Blades? And welcome back to the Blades Ramble. Yet again, we are here with a daily ramble. How about this for content upon content upon content? If you're liking what we do, please do subscribe. It'd be very much appreciated, and it helps us towards our goal of 5K before Christmas Day. We need to get there because I've set it. I've thrown it out on the internet, and I'll look foolish if I don't get there. So today we are talking about it used to be the left centre back issue, but it's now the left wing back problem. And have we solved it with Luke Thomas? I personally think yes, we have. So thanks for watching today. But for so long, this spot has been an issue for us. Since Reece Norrington-Davies went down injured, and even before that, he was playing left centre back as well because we had a lot of problems there, as we've talked about. But now that Jack Robinson's playing well, it has to be said, and Trusty's there as competition and potential, nipping at his heels to try and get in, Reece would be our left wing back, but he's been injured for such a long time, and we're not expecting to see him back till November at the earliest, I'm hearing. We've been relying on Max Lowe, who is not Premier League standard for me. Now, you may have your own opinion on Max Lowe. You may think I'm being harsh on Max and that he's improved and things of that nature, because I've heard some people say that. But I don't think he's Premier League quality. And he's injured now, unfortunately. But I think in January we'll look to move him on because I don't think he's good enough to play for this club. And at 26 years old, you can't really see that there's going to be much improvement there. But we've been spoiled, haven't we, with Ender Stevens and Dan Lafferty before that, who a lot of people forget had a great impact for us in League One. So we've had great wing backs over recent time. Obviously, George and Bogle down the right. But I think Reece could be a real player for us there. But you need more than one. And we've tried Larouci, who I get was brought in as a development player, but he's not done the business. And I'm not sure he's up to it, if I'm honest. And this is harsh because I know he's not been here very long. And it's not the lad's fault. He's doing his absolute best.
No, he's rubbish.
He is, isn't he?
And then he's now injured. He went injured against Everton.
You're joking. Not another one? Oh, for God's sake, I can't stand this.
Ozzy would also have been the makeshift left wing back. So we'd have had three options that we're sort of putting in there, but aren't really. None of them are Premier League left wing backs. I think Reece has got the potential to be that, but again, he's out injured. So we've siphoned Ozzy in there. And Ozzy's also out injured now. So it's taken 3 injuries at left wing back for us to prioritise that position. But finally, we've gone out and we've got Luke Thomas in from Leicester, more by luck than anything else, because we didn't talk about him in any of our sort of recruitment videos or anything like that, because he's been seen as a real up-and-comer, a homegrown Leicester lad who was getting in their squad and getting in their first team week in, week out. You'd imagine that he commands a high fee, being a Premier League experienced left back for them. So it wasn't really in the conversation, because ultimately we weren't going to replace Max Lowe. But as it's become a necessity to replace the left wing back, and Leicester have taken on a new manager that likes to try and play like Pep, where there's no fullbacks really, and he moves to 3 centre halves and 2 holding midfielders, and they sort of adapt in and out of possession. Luke Thomas became available, and at 22-year-old, this lad is an experienced Premier League defender. He fits really nicely into our system. I thought his debut at Everton looked really good at the weekend. Came on by necessity with Larouci going off injured. So again, a little bit more by luck than anything else. But I think we've dropped on a really good, shrewd signing here, and what I think we need to do, and this is hugely important for me. And yes, it's off one performance, but if it's not a knee-jerk reaction to an half-decent half game. It's looking at the lad and his performances for Leicester in the Premier League. And yeah, he didn't have the best of seasons last season, but no Leicester player did. I think as a proven Premier League player and somebody that could potentially go down to the Championship with us if we were to be relegated, I think we sign him up. I think we sign him up on a permanent deal, get it done in January, or agreed to be formalised in January, so we can then utilise our domestic loan on another player going forward, because it frees up another domestic loan spot. He's young, is Thomas, and it's a great investment for the future. So for me, it's an absolute no-brainer even if it's going to cost us a few quid, I think it's worth it because we might not get much for Max Lowe, but we'll save on his wages. I think you can send Larouci back for me as well if we get Thomas on a permanent. And I think that's your two. I think that's your two from January onwards. Thomas and Reece Norrington-Davies battling it out, very much like Baldock and Bogle are battling it out on the right-hand side. And you always think, oh, well, one of them's got to be unhappy. And, it's all going to go pear-shaped because they all want to be starters. Well, that's what you want. You want hungry players that are trying to get in the squad, by any means necessary. And I'm going to take the shirt off you respectfully, but I want that place in the team. And then all of a sudden you look much stronger all over the field, particularly in those tricky wing-back areas where, let's be right, a lot of our defensive frailties are coming from this year. George, I love George Baldock, as you know. He were at fault for both goals against Everton, and he needs to stay on his toes. And I think Bogle pushing him, I would be amazed if we saw a repeat performance from Baldock against Spurs. I think he'll be on his game. I think he'll be fit and firing. A lot of people said he were to blame for Grealish getting by him and getting the cross in, and for Haaland to score for City the week before. So George is coming under the spotlight a little bit for his form, and knowing George as we do, he will no doubt come back better because he's got that competition behind him in Bogle. Max Lowe in our first team had Ozzy and Larouci to compete with. I don't think it's enough of a motivator to get him playing to the absolute peak of his game. I just don't think he's good enough, if I'm honest. Whereas Reece Norrington-Davies cannot have a bad game because Luke Thomas is right behind him. Luke Thomas cannot have a bad game because come November time, Reece Norrington-Davies is right behind him. Jack Robinson at the moment cannot have a bad game because Trusty's right behind him. Norwood, at the minute, is experiencing something similar. He knows McAtee's coming in. He knows that he's going to be the one taken out of the team because we've spent 25 million on Sousa and Hamer. So Norwood's position is under threat. He's playing well because he's got that underneath him coming through. This is what we need. We need competition up front from McBurney and Archer. And I honestly think Thomas and Reece Norrington-Davies, much like Trusty at left centre-back, Thomas coming in to provide competition for Reece solves our left wing-back problem. Now, you may not agree with me. You may think, well, he's only a loan and we still need to solve that long term. I'm saying we need to sign him permanently. You may think we can't put all our eggs in that basket. You may think Reece being out injured for so long leaves it very touch and go and got to give Larouci a chance. I'm interested to hear what you think. Let me know down in the comments below. But I now think we have our two. It's always ideal to have two in every position. And I think these are our two. So let me know. Let me know whether you agree with me and Thomas and Reece are the boys, or whether you think I'm discounting Max and I'm discounting Larouci and Osborne's done nothing wrong and they've all got to remain in contention. And if Thomas goes back, then it's no big deal because we've got Max Lowe who can then be understudy to Reece. I don't think they're good enough. Let me know what you think. I'm really interested to hear. Thanks to everybody who's subscribed, commented, liked the videos. It all really helps us. Trying to get to that 5K before Christmas Day. I'm currently doing the Ramble Reset, which is my personal trainer, like a fitness diet plan, if you like. Going okay now. We're over the hurdle and still motivated. So I'm leaving myself accountable online. So there's no hiding place for me there at all. If you want to join us, all the details are down below. If you want to become a Rambler and get early access to these recorded videos, you're more than welcome. Access to our WhatsApp group. It's $2.99 a month. Best $2.99 in the space, no doubt about it. But we're working hard to provide you good content. So let me know what you think. Do you agree with me? Do you not? I'm sure some will, and I'm sure some won't. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. But for now, come on, you red and white wizards. Up the blade! Ramble on!